Hi, everyone. I wanted to talk about session 6, which is restructuring and redefining your family. So now your relationship is over, your romantic relationship, the one that had the dream about how you were going to raise your children, but it doesn't mean that your family is over. Your family is just changing, it's restructuring, you're redefining it, but you're still a family, just with a different structure. So it's important for us, not only for the parents, but for the kids, to really define that sense of home and really define that sense of change. And that this is not a ending, it's a shift. So you're still a parent, and we have to define the changes that you're making so that your family, as you're restructuring it, can thrive, not just survive. And so if you're moving into relationships or blended family system, you want to really start looking at timing and how you do this and sensitivities to what your kids are going through. And I always tell my families, take this change slowly. Because if your child is here seeing the change of you in a new partnership, they're going to project all their feelings about this change onto the new person. And if you want to give that new person a chance, you really want to allow there to be some space between the change that they're trying to metabolize right now, which is this change of the redefining and restructuring the family to the new family. And that includes adding somebody else to it. So, how do kids feel secure? How do they feel stable? How do you feel stable? We have routines. We develop routines and ways of functioning in our homes that work, that make them organized, so that everybody knows what's expected of them and that we know how to pace ourselves during the day. So it's not always chaotic running around, but there's some time to really slow down and shift and connect with each other. Those are the times that my co-parents really tell me about, is that there might be this changing schedule, this transitioning schedule, but what they're really looking for is that deep sense of connection with their kids so their kids can settle down and they can settle down and they can really have some time together. And so when you're thinking about your redefining family and restructuring family, what I'm hoping that you also think about is how you're going to develop some quality time with you and your kids so that you all can settle down in this new system. And then you'll be able to even define more what you're able to accomplish. So, what I see a lot at the very beginning of a parenting change of people trying to get a calendar or a schedule going is that parents want to see their kids a lot at the beginning, and kids might need to have that transition time too until a routine is established. But initially, it's so much change that that transition of like, okay, we're going to see our kids every day might be really helpful in the first month. But if you think about it, the longer it goes, the more you don't have a lot of quality time. You have a lot of switching times back and forth. So remember, whenever you're with your kids, make sure that you're developing some routine in the time that you're having with them, whether it's, okay, this is our activity, or we're just hanging out, or friends aren't coming over tonight, or there aren't any sleepovers because during your time with me, I really want to spend it with you. And if you're trying to see them every day, that you're also very aware of their time with their other parents. So you're trying to give that to them. A lot of times parents want to talk to their kids every day, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing. I think it's good to have that transitional object where you can hear your parents' voice during the day, but you also might want to be aware of like when that happens to you and the other parent's voice comes into your evening, it might be really hard for your kids to settle down in a routine with you. So, for example, I look at the transitioning times as the time where a lot of communication happens and can happen. But the settling down time is the time that you're actually trying to connect. So, one other thing I want to leave you with is as you're restructuring your family, you might want to have some family meetings. Even if you have young kids, you can have very short family meetings, and those meetings can just be about like, how can we do some fun things together in the time that we have? Or how can we do our chores better? Or how can we talk easier? Or what are some of the things that are going to help us? get used to being back together? Or what are the rules that we have in this house that are different from the rules that you might have in your other parent's house? This can be a real good habit to form with your kids, is that this is the time you all get to talk and sort of sort things out and find better solutions. So don't be afraid to take more control over your family and the changes that you want to see and really work on them. Just like when we work on anything, we can switch it, we can change it, we can refocus. And that's what I'm hoping for you in this time of transition. That redefining and restructuring your family is about routine, it's about stability, it's about settling down and having a deep connection as a family in a different way and planning it, working on it, developing it. So good luck with all of that, and I'll see you in the next session.